Component cables by HD Retrovision have played a huge part in the first 2 seasons of Retrotech Select.
They've been used to capture nearly all the Genesis and Super Nintendo footage that's been used in the series thus far. In fact, the first ever episode of RT Select was a preview of their first batch of Sega Genesis cables.
In keeping with that tradition, this video is a glimpse at the work of this little wonder.
An adapter that brings together the HD Retrovision Genesis cable and the original PlayStation. Let's get started! The most common connection for the PS1 by far is the composite cable. Next to the video produced by a standard RCA composite cable, the component video enabled by the HD Retrovision adapter is simply outstanding. Colors are now more vivid, blacks are deeper, and a foggy haze of blur is lifted to reveal sharp, beautiful pixels. Some games benefit more from this than others. Games that rely on dithering for transparency show their strings a bit, but the trade-off is a truly phenomenal image, only possible previously through modding, emulation, or the use of a PS2. Those ugly relics of composite video are eliminated entirely and replaced by a clean, crisp, altogether refreshing analog signal. Makes you wonder how this solution stacks up against other options.
It's one thing to knock the socks off a composite, but what if we take the quality up a notch?
While the component cables available for later PlayStations won't work with the PS1, the original PlayStation does support S-video output. And I can tell you without any reservations that the image produced by a pair of monster S-video cables blows the doors off of composite. Looking at S-video and component one by one, you'd be hard-pressed to tell the difference. Even seeing them side by side at a fair distance gives the impression that color and contrast might be the only improvements that the jump to component provides over S-video. It's not until we start looking at things a little closer that the differences begin to appear. While it's not the leap that moving away from composite provides, component not only has more vibrant colors, but it has better separation between them. The image is a bit darker, but the HD Retrovision setup gives you inky blacks and bright whites. Subtle details emerge that don't quite surface with S-video. When you're playing on a large display, there's the sense that you've just taken that final step that nothing short of an HD remaster is going to top. Having tested all 3 cables back to back, I can confidently say, composite will cut it for some, S-video will satisfy most, but top prize undoubtedly goes to component via HD Retrovision.
Before we declare the PS1 adapter as the answer to all of our prayers, there's something we should probably address.
The PlayStation 2 is fully backwards compatible with PS1 games, and for the most part, they can be played over component. Is there really any benefit to using original hardware over the PS2 for this purpose, other than nostalgia?
To come to a verdict on that, I'm going to need a lot more time than we have in this preview episode.
As you can see in this side-by-side, the results are strikingly close. And besides noting that the PS2 looks a little washed out, picking a clear winner is going to call for in-depth analysis and a whole lot of goofy zoomed-in comparison shots.
As it stands, I hope this video illustrated the difference between composite, S-video, and component for your PS1, and that you'll be back for the next installment of Retrotech Select.